Welcome back to your daily dose of Kanye madness, where we convince ourselves that the album is actually a step closer to dropping than the day before, while it actually isn't. But today we got some pretty interesting news, because it seems like some official person told Billboard that this album is dropping on the 31st, which is weird. But let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and it recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So just for a little bit of context, we had the album Vultures by Kanye and Ty Dolla appear on Apple Music before December 15th with a release date of December 15th and all of the 18 tracks in the track list. And we also had a release party or a listening party in Miami scheduled for the 15th. So we all thought, hey, this album is going to be dropping the 15th. So last Friday, y'all were here for that disaster, but what actually gave it so much credibility was the fact that it was uploaded to Apple Music, and usually artists don't upload the music until it is actually ready to be uploaded and ready to be released. The album obviously did not release, as we all painfully experienced. Now, then the album was taken down from Apple Music again. You could go to the link, there just was no file there. There was no album. And then after December 15th, I believe this was 3-4 days ago, you can go back in the videos and kind of rewatch when it was, we had the album reappear on Apple Music. Same thing as it was the version with December 15th, all the same tracks, all the same cover art, genre, everything, but this time for December 31st. And this is what I went over in the last two videos. This is likely just a placeholder because they couldn't change the year or whatever. They just took the last date of this year as kind of like, let's push it back to then. Until then, things are going to change anyway, but we have some sort of more space, more room to make adjustments and make announcements along the way that are never going to be true, but that's another story. So from then on, we thought that this thing was just a placeholder, but it seems to be more than that, at least according to some insider that spoke to Billboard. Because here's what's interesting. There was this article that appeared on Billboard being a pretty credible music source, that said Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign's elusive album Vultures will drop on New Year's Eve, and then it says the album arrives December 31st. And we had this article that went up like yesterday by Call Lamar, and at first I thought, and most Kanye fans thought, okay, they're not like in tune with the latest news on this. They were just kind of going off of the reappearance of it on Apple Music, kind of like we were. But I mean, you know, maybe they just kind of reported on it too fast. That would have been fine, you know. I mean, if it says December 31st on Apple Music, it's not a big leap to believe it's dropping on the 31st if you haven't been going through all the stages that we went through before, like on this channel. But then you actually start to read the article, and that is where it gets interesting. Because the first paragraph reads, and this is the only important or necessary part on this, the rest is just repeating what we've been knowing for a long time, but it says Kanye West failed to drop his collaborative album Vultures with Ty Dolla $ign this past Friday, December 15th, but his spokesperson told Billboard that he has a new release date. The elusive album will arrive December 31st on New Year's Eve. So Kanye's spokesperson, whoever that might be, do y'all have any idea who that is? They told Billboard, apparently exclusively, that this is actually dropping the 31st. And this is news because we thought this was just a placeholder. If this is true, this is pretty big, but who can tell? At this point, a Kanye announcement for a release date is worth less than nothing. Let's see how this develops. I mean, this would kind of go hand in hand with the most recent news that we went over with Champagne Shadow, an engineer working on this, posting about this album being finished only yesterday, about having 2 volumes, about all of that. And we have a couple of other uploads on Apple Music where we can see the times of the songs, but then those are not the correct run times of the songs, so that is another argument against it. as I said, it's a daily roller coaster of this just being a mess and we don't know what is up with it. Speaking of this being a mess, I saw this funny thing, Donna Times posted this, where on this NFT or like a blockchain trading platform, you can actually now start betting on if Kanye will actually release the album this year. Just thought that was like a funny little side note right there. So if you want, you can bet on it, make a lot of money. Also, real quick, I saw a lot of people join the Discord server after the last video, after I mentioned it there, and after it being a great resource to all of us Kanye fans and us posting stuff and inside info in there. So if you're not a part of the Discord yet, make sure to go join it with the link in the description. It's the best hip hop community on this planet. Make sure to go join that. Now, also after, y'all remember, the Riyadh event, the Soundstorm Festival that Kanye then didn't perform at because he didn't feel like it and because he was just waking up and expressing how he felt. Y'all saw the text messages. We had this picture of him on a flight back with Will Smith. Apparently, they were on the same flight back from Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, back to the US. So Kanye's back in the US after flying to Riyadh for nothing. It's weird, man. Like, what is going on? But anyway, it does seem like this album is getting closer and closer to the release date. I mean, we got a lot of updates over the past couple of days from engineers, from people close to Kanye, apparently now talking exclusively to Billboard. Why they're not talking exclusively to me, I don't know. Make sure to go tell them that I'm probably a better person to talk about this than Billboard. I'm just kidding. Love you, Billboard, but still. And all of these little hints just kind of add up to me having a feeling that while I still don't want to believe this, I don't want to make that leap of faith of believing that this will actually drop the 31st, because I will never trust the Kanye date again until the next one, and then I'll be let down again. But the 31st just seems kind of random because that is a Sunday to my knowledge. And I mean, Donda dropped on a Sunday and Donda 2 on a Tuesday. I get that he doesn't have to drop on Fridays, but so far everything we got was on a Friday. Vultures, the single, dropped on a Friday. He had the release party scheduled for a Friday. So it did kind of seem like he wants to drop on a Friday, maybe because they're dropping it independently and they need kind of racking up those first week sales to make it more credible, or to like be nominated for something if they don't get the label support. But hey, we still don't have a Kanye of his, like a Kanye announcement of his own, like on his social media. He has not spoken about this album. I believe that once he actually posts about this himself on Instagram or Twitter, this will be even bigger, because even people not tuned into our little circle of, you know, people that are following this album. I mean, we're not little, we're like a couple thousand people, obviously, all following every step of this rollout. Love y'all, by the way, for joining me on this ride. But there's hundreds of thousands and millions of people out there that love Kanye, but that are just not into it that deep like we are, that are then only going to be aware of it and following it even more. So that's going to be even bigger. But let's see when that happens, if it does happen at all. So far, he's only posted about the Yeezy news. So let's see where this goes. This is all the news we got. Apparently, Billboard got some exclusive info on this album actually dropping the 31st. I still don't believe it. Let me know what y'all think about this, though. Do you think this is actually dropping the 31st? All your thoughts on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.